reason why my feet can't stop, my heart can't help but sing. It's a wonderful feeling to feel your love for me, to feel the joy you bring. Your love is the answer, so I sing to you. The reason is you, Jesus.
You're why I'm singing now.
The reason is you, Jesus.
You're what it's all about.
At the cross you set me free, and I'm thankful that you love me. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. I'm thankful that you love me. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I know the reason why my hands are up, my feet dance down below. It's a wonderful feeling that I belong to you, no matter where I may go. Your love is the answer, so I sing to you. The reason is you, Jesus.
You're why I'm singing now.
The reason is you, Jesus.
You're what it's all about.
At the cross you set me free, and I'm thankful that you love me. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. I'm thankful that you love me. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. All right, let's get it. Come on. 1, 2, 3, sing. I can't stop this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. I never wanna shake this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. I can't stop this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. I never wanna shake this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. The reason is you, Jesus.
You're why I'm singing now.
The reason is you, Jesus.
You're what it's all about.
At the cross you set me free, and I'm thankful that you love me. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. So thankful that you love me. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on. I can't stop this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. Let's go. I never wanna shake this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. Bring it down, come on. I can't stop this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. Come on. I never wanna shake this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason.
Hello, friends. It is so great to see you today. All month, we've been learning about grit, and it's been an awesome month. We've loved hearing all about it.
Do you guys remember what grit is? Let's say it together. Grit is refusing to give up when life gets hard.
If you're climbing a mountain, you need grit to make it to the peak. And if you have to do a difficult assignment at school, you're going to need some grit to see it through. If you're having trouble with a friend, you need grit to find out how you can solve the problem and make things right again.
I know that when I'm facing something tough, it helps me to think about how other people have held on. There are lots of people throughout history who faced tough situations with grit because they knew that God was with them. Sometimes I just have to stop and remember that God is with me, just like God was with the people that we read about in the Bible. That's what gives me strength to hold on.
All right, let's play a game, team. We're going to play red light, green light, a classic. But you are going to have to pretend that you are out in the bush and you are trying to make your way up a rocky hill to find the coolest, most amazing thing in the world, a chicken. So you need to stand as far away from the TV as you can and act like you're climbing a hill to get to the chicken, but it's really just us. And just like regular red light, green light, you have to stop when we say red and go when we say green. But before you start, you cannot run. You must walk, and you must pretend that you are climbing. So using your hands and your legs. All right, are we ready? Go!
I'm just like,
Red light,
green light,
red light,
green light,
Red light.
Green light.
Red light.
Green light.
Red light.
Green light.
Red light.
Green light.
Red light.
Are you guys at the end? Who's winning?
Few
Green light.
more. Red light.
Green light. Wow, guys, that was so fun. Who got to the fake chicken first? Nathan didn't. It was me. I'm amazing at that game, by the way. Anyway, let's hear an amazing story of God's protection.
Hey everyone! Okay, so as we all know, the Israelites were all packed up. Thousands and thousands of people, families, kids, herds, and flocks. You can imagine, they couldn't move very fast. God was leading them every step of the way, away from Egypt, appearing in a pillar of cloud during the daytime and a blazing pillar of flame at night. At last, the Israelites came to the Red Sea, which stood between them and the desert road to Canaan. But while the Israelites set up camp along the shore of the Red Sea, back in the palace, Pharaoh was having serious second thoughts.
What have we done? We've lost all our workers. Prepare 600 chariots at once.
Pharaoh jumped in his chariot and led an army of chariots and horsemen racing across the desert after the Israelites. The galloping horses and rattling chariots kicked up clouds of dust, and soon the Israelites could see them coming. There was no way they could outrun the Egyptian army. The Israelites were trapped.
Why did you bring us out in the desert to die?
It would have been better to stay in Egypt than die out here.
The Israelites wanted to give up, but Moses kept his eyes fixed firmly on God.
Don't be afraid. Stand firm. The Lord will save you today. The Lord will fight for you. Just be still.
Right there, in a place that seemed like a trap, God spoke to Moses.
Hold out your walking stick. Reach out your hand over the Red Sea to divide the water.
Divide the water? Okay, that is not what water does. But God's presence in the pillar of cloud moved from the front of the Israelite caravan and stood behind them all night to block them from view of the Egyptians. Moses reached his hand over the sea. Through the night, God sent a strong wind to push back the waters. Soon, the Israelites faced a dry path right through the middle of the Red Sea. I mean, can you imagine what it must have felt like? You're at the edge of a vast sea, but straight ahead the water just boop, splits. I mean, ginormous walls of water rise up on either side of the path before you. Sure, I mean, you want to escape the Egyptians, but if you walk along this path, the waters could fall on you. I mean, it must have taken every ounce of courage and grit they had. But the Israelites followed Moses along that path, straight through the heart of the sea. All night, those families hurried toward freedom. But the Egyptians gave chase. They followed the Israelites right into the Red Sea. At last, the Israelites made it through. But the Egyptians were right behind them. God spoke to Moses again.
Reach out your hand over the sea.
As Moses reached out his hand, those walls of water began to crash down, and the sea rushed back into place, washing over the Egyptian horses and chariots. The entire Egyptian army was swept away. The Israelites were left safe and dry on the far side of the Red Sea. Moses' sister Miriam led them in a song of celebration.
I will sing to the Lord, he is greatly honored. The Lord gives me strength and protects me. He has saved me.
The end.
The Israelites were safe and dry on the far side of the Red Sea. God had protected them and brought them out of danger. The Israelites were so thankful that they sang a song, which we can find in Exodus chapter 15. The words they sang said, "I will sing to the Lord. He is greatly honored. The Lord gives me strength and protects me. He has saved me. The people could see for sure that God was in control.
It's important for us to remember that God is in control of our lives too. God has a good plan for us, even if we can't see it or understand it. We can choose to trust God and that He will help us live each day with grit. Let's remember this. Hold on because God is in control.
Let's hear our family question for today. What feels out of control? This could be a pretty big question for some of you, but it's important to name some of these moments to help us realize just how much God can help us. So think about it. Where do you feel most stuck? What does your Red Sea moment look like? Maybe you're on the other side and could share how God helped you came through a Red Sea moment. Grab someone in your family and ask them this question. Get their input and share stories. It helps us to process things that we find difficult with someone who cares about us. And then come on back to our Kidspace parent page for another episode of the So and So Show. Bye, guys!
I know the reason why my feet can't stop my heart.